So I met her last year, and she was cool. You know, I met her, but I think she was occupied because she was like, I went up to her, I was like, oh, hey. She was like, hey, my baby daddy's calling me, and then she left, and I was like, oh.
Tyla Gurrlll. These are some of the things that you just leave in your drafts, because by talking about Rihanna like that, you single-handedly started a fire that has refused to burn down. See, ever since Tyla blasted Rihanna for ignoring her, the internet has been tearing her apart, with claims about how she's literally trying to be a Rihanna 2.0. She has definitely got people digging into the details about what's going on between her and Rihanna. And from what I've heard, she's gotten other people in the industry involved as well, like allegedly Chris Brown. But why though? Why would Breezy get involved? Did they actually date like y'all have been claiming? And is it now bitter all over again? I mean, for those who remember, early on in her career, Tyla locked in a major milestone by joining Chris Brown as the opening act on his massive Under the Influence tour. And she had the most beautiful things to say about him afterwards.
But yeah, he would even watch my show, he'd go in a disguise and come in the audience and watch. And then after, he'll give me advice. He'll be like, okay, you should do this more. And then I appreciated that so much because, I mean, imagine that boot camp.
Yeah, that boot camp, right.
The best boot camp I could ever ask for.
However, given the incredibly dark, deeply embedded history between Rihanna and Chris Brown, the internet's jaw collectively dropped, and people started saying that Tyla's team pushing her into Chris Brown's orbit was a highly calculated PR move to stir up the exact same edgy, controversial R&B princess narrative that surrounded early career Rihanna. And they effectively used Riri's old ties to generate headlines. Chris and Tyla seemingly also became great friends after that. But imagine hiring an artist to open your tour to bring a fresh, new Amapiano wave, and getting close to her only to realize everything about her feels like a ghost from your own highly publicized, chaotic past. Allegedly, this is the reason why Breezy is currently roped into this mess. And I don't know if something else happened between him and Tyla as well, but he is also allegedly claiming that Tyla has definitely been ripping Rihanna's style, aura, face card, everything. Child, this whole Tyla-Rihanna issue has taken a whole other turn, so let me just break down where people are coming from. Here's the thing. The second Tyla blew up globally with her Grammy-winning hit Water, the industry instantly did what it always does to young, gorgeous, internationally born women of color. They looked for a prototype, and people started clocking the similarities to Rihanna immediately. Okay, I honestly get where guys were coming from. The effortless island vibes, the piercing eyes, the good girl gone bad aesthetic, and the fact that both women represent massive cultural movements outside of traditional American pop, Rihanna with her Caribbean roots, and Tyla with Amapiano and South African roots. There were so many similarities, and even Tyla herself admitted early on that Rihanna was the first artist she ever tried to emulate, praising how Riri became a global superstar while staying true to her roots. What was initially meant to be just an inspiration has grown into something really nasty, and from where I'm seated, I don't think Rihanna and Tyla are gonna see eye to eye anytime soon. Not after what happened recently, when a viral video surfaced from behind the scenes at the Met Gala that was so painful to watch, it practically gave the internet secondhand embarrassment. In the clip, Rihanna was standing under the bright lights, looking a bit exhausted, while A$AP Rocky was chatting up someone nearby. Then, a few feet away, leaning against a wall in her jaw-dropping, glittering gown, was Tyla. She was just looking wildly uncomfortable, and she clearly wanted to approach Rihanna, but she was completely frozen, and Rihanna didn't even look in her direction once. Baby, Rihanna saw her. She absolutely saw Tyla, but she intentionally kept her eyes locked ahead, giving Tyla the ultimate, I don't know her, treatment. And to make matters worse, Rihanna didn't just pick any song to soundtrack her glamorous behind-the-scenes transformation from the Met Gala. She explicitly chose Who's That Girl by Ira Starr. She literally picked a side in the fierce New Queen of Africa fan debate. Now, with the Rihanna hates Tyla narrative spinning out of control, Tyla hopped on TikTok, raspy-voiced and fresh out of bed, to set the record straight, and she explained that she didn't approach Rihanna because of the trauma from the last time, when she told her that her baby daddy was calling her.
So I don't know, I felt awkward. What the heck? I felt awkward. I don't know how to say hi. If I feel like someone's busy, it's like, So this time, I was waiting for my car and she was right there, and I was, yeah. So this time, yeah, I don't want to go up because I felt like she was busy, you know what I mean?
See, what Tyla was trying to say was that Rihanna essentially used the celebrity equivalent of, "Sorry, my mom is calling me, I gotta go," to exit the conversation. And she confessed that the moment left her feeling incredibly awkward and second-guessing how to read Rihanna's energy. Well, while some people said that Tyla was just being nice and trying to explain the situation, others said that this was totally about shading Rihanna, and those conversations about her being a carbon copy of Rihanna started all over again. And people are saying the same thing that they have been saying since Tyla came out, which is that the problem is that Tyla's team is trying way too hard to mold her into a 2.0 version of Rihanna to capture that vacant market space while Rihanna is busy running a billionaire makeup empire and being a mom. Honey, I'ma just give you all the context for you to be the judge. For starters, one of the things that people pointed out was that when Tyla broke the internet and started speaking in interviews, she had this soft, slightly melodic South African accent. Then, apparently, she started subtly modifying her speaking and singing to mimic Rihanna's famous Bajan twang. And people claimed Tyla was using the exact same giggly, slightly elusive, shy island girl turned international baddie vocal prototype that launched Rihanna to stardom. Basically, what people have been saying is that before Water broke the charts, Tyla's social media vibe was cute, bubbly, and very much a girl next door enjoying South African youth culture. But the moment she crossed over to the Western market, her digital footprint shifted aggressively toward high-production, sweat-slicked, hyper-sexualized, thirst-trap content, kinda like Rihanna's Good Girl Gone Bad blueprint. Number 2. When the music video for Water dropped, people felt like the heavy use of water droplets on sun-kissed skin, the humid, sweat-drenched lighting, and the raw, rhythmic hip-wine choreography felt too familiar to ignore. To some people, it was like the visual direction felt like a direct, modern rewrite of Rihanna's 2005 breakout video, Pon de Replay, mixed with the sultry, wet-look aesthetics of Work. Again, the internet accused Tyla's creative directors of literally copying the exact blueprint used to break an international person of color into the Western market. Also, while we are still on the music, y'all know that Rihanna's superpower was always her shape-shifting ability. She could jump from dancehall to EDM pop to dark R&B effortlessly. Well, now, critics are claiming that Tyla is trying to copy this exact trajectory rather than staying strictly in her native Amapiano lane. Something else that people have pointed out over the years is that Tyla's street style and her performance wardrobe frequently mimics Rihanna's high-low fashion aesthetic. See, Tyla heavily favors low-rise, baggy utility cargo pants paired with ultra-feminine, micro-cropped tops, heavily stacked body jewelry, and effortless, strappy heels. It's literally an exact carbon copy of Rihanna's mid-2010s street style era. And when Tyla pairs oversized sports jerseys with high-end luxury heels, fans aggressively post side-by-side photos claiming her stylist is just printing out old Pinterest boards of Rihanna's paparazzi photos. And guess what? Apparently, Tyla has also been trying to take Riri's spot as the Met Gala queen. Well, as far as some people are concerned, the thing is, for a decade, the Met Gala has practically belonged to Rihanna, known for her high-drama, physically impossible to walk in structural masterpieces. And while Tyla's Balmain sand dress at the 2024 Met Gala was a certified viral masterpiece, people noted that Tyla didn't just wear an outfit, she made a theatrical moment out of it, being carried up the stairs because she couldn't walk. People claimed Tyla's team explicitly orchestrated the carried up the stairs stunt to replicate Rihanna's signature dramatic, show-stopping energy and take over her title as the night's most talked about Met appearance. And child, if you still think people are playing with all these comparisons, go look at Tyla's official album cover art and her high-fashion magazine editorials. Then look at Rihanna's iconic anti-era or her vintage Vogue covers. Apparently, Tyla uses the exact same signature facial posing that Rihanna pioneered in the 2010s. People even think that Tyla was explicitly coached on how to mimic Rihanna's physical presence in front of a camera. Well, allegedly, behind closed doors, Chris Brown has also been saying that Tyla is a complete and total carbon copy of his famous ex. Honestly though, I don't know why Chris would be inserting himself in this mess, unless of course there's something else going on between him and Tyla like y'all have been speculating. I know that there have been dating rumors, especially after Tyla and Chris Brown were spotted together at a hotel in New York some time back, and we saw how she was out here twerking on him not so long ago. So maybe something did go down between them that didn't end well. I don't know, guys. I don't know. But do you think he genuinely thinks she's a total copy? Or is he just mad Tyla and Rihanna are dominating the headlines without his name attached to them anymore? Could this be because he actually dated Tyla? Also, what are your genuine thoughts on this whole Tyla-Rihanna comparison? Let me know in the comments section below.